First of all, people need to know the history. These two guys hate each other. Rondo and Chris Paul. Here's a quote from a PR director in the NBA. Rajon has requested you not ask anything about Chris Paul now, tomorrow, or any time in the future. That was the Celtics PR director in 2009.
Oh, wow.
So this has been going on for a decade. Back in 2009, Chris Paul and Rondo played each other, and Rondo said to him, I'm a champion, you'll never be one. And Chris Paul didn't play that. Chris Paul talked about it afterwards, and they have been at each other's throats since that moment. Now, what do I think happened here? I do think Rondo spit on him. I don't think he meant to. I think that if you look at...
Well, I think there's a difference, because I think people, when you say spit, it's different than something being projected out of your mouth. Saying when you're talking loud or animated, something comes out of your mouth. Yeah. That would be more appropriate compared to if you think about spit, you think someone deliberately spit something.
Robbie Alomar to the ump is what you think. And so Chris Paul's reaction wasn't like, I mean, I know Chris Paul. If he thinks someone spit in his face intentionally, he is not putting his finger in Rondo's face. He's throwing immediately. And this is, I joked about it before the show. I think what happened is what happens between you or me, Jen, about once every 3 months. One of us, we're sitting this close, and one of us catches the other one with a loose one. Like, it happens. You're talking, you're animated. I believe that's what happened there. Now, afterwards, I don't really blame, and this is where you might disagree, I don't blame Chris Paul for putting his finger in his face. And once he put his finger in his face, Rondo, it's not surprising to me that he swung. I'm glad LeBron grabbed Chris Paul to prevent it from escalating further, because Brandon Ingram was trying to take it up another level, which is why Brandon Ingram, he started it, tried to end it. It's why he got the harshest suspension of anyone involved. But if Rondo intentionally spit at him, that is a enormous, grievous error, but I don't think that's what happened. I do think Chris Paul got some of Rondo's saliva on his face, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I could see this happening. The history is there. It's relevant. Also, during the game, as you watch the game, it got a little chippy. I can understand Houston, they lost opening night. They had to be able to win this game. It's LeBron's opening night. They feel like there's no one giving them any type of respect in the West. Chris Paul's returning to the arena where he played also with the Clippers. Remember the battle they had last year with the Clippers with Houston. Supposedly they went through the other door and all those things. So, yes, this is real. I don't like seeing fighting in sports. I just don't like seeing fighting. I know that when you get in a face-to-face confrontation with someone, I don't believe Rondo did it intentionally. I could see Chris Paul in his natural reaction, but I'm not a person that like to see fighting at any type of sporting event on the court.
I was surprised at the length of the suspensions as far as how short they were. I remember Melo getting a double-digit game suspension when he was a Nugget, got in a fight with the Knicks, or it was a Knicks-Nuggets game where Melo punched and then ran backwards. He got 10-plus games. To see that Chris Paul got 2, Rondo 3, and Ingram 4, that to me shows Adam Silver's approach to this is different than David Stern's. David Stern was, no pun intended, a little more stern in these instances. I want to ask you one question, C, because I know that these takes have already started. Do you have a problem that LeBron grabbed Chris Paul instead of one of his teammates? I thought it was obvious. I thought Chris Paul's the one in front of him. He also not only is obviously bigger than Chris Paul, but has the relationship to where if anyone's going to calm him down, it'd be LeBron. Did you have a problem with that?
Listen, if you're trying to break up a fight, if whoever you're with, grab the other person. Don't grab me, because then you end up getting hit. Grab the other person. Forget about being in a relationship. When you're breaking up a fight, I'm not grabbing my guy. I'm grabbing their guy. So I can hold him, so I can be able to restrain him to make sure if I really want to stop the fight, stop the other person. Because if he would have grabbed Rondo, that wouldn't have stopped the fight. So when you're involved in these fights with players on courts and everything, man, grab the opposition so your guy doesn't get hit. So, no, I don't have no problem with that, man. Anything LeBron does, man, he wore the wrong shoes, all right? That's what we're going to do. At the beginning and end of the day, they're human. LeBron has the most significant relationship on that court with Chris Paul and Melo. That's real. But LeBron did the right thing. Grab the opposition so I can't get hit.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.